Hey guys, Sergeant Baldy here, and today I'm going to be making a basic video on showing people how to get started with Java and a few of the things you learn when you first get started. So to start off, I'm going to first show you how to make a new project in the Eclipse program, which you can just download online for free. So first, you go up here and you click Java Project. See, I've already done this and created a couple projects already, the projects being Extended Classes Assignment. So once this class has been created, it'll create some of this, but what you want to do is you want to hover over it here, go here, and then click class, which will create a new class. As you can see, I already have quite a few made, and while this may look a bit intimidating, it's not as scary as it seems. So once you have created your class, you need to open it. So I'll show you how to do that by first closing the one I already have open, and then you just hover over the class and you double click it, and it should open a window similar to this but with a lot less writing on it. So then once you're in that menu, you can start coding. Now that we are in the main coding screen, I'm going to be showing you some simple things you can do to make your Java programs better. While I will not be covering the very basics such as stuff like making variables, as those are very simple and can be learned very quickly on your own, I will be covering things such as loops, if statements, creating methods such as this one right here, and also overriding methods, and I will be using programs that I have already created as examples. First, I will start off by showing you a loop. So my loop statement begins with do and it ends with while. So because it is not a normal loop that begins with while, the way this loop works is it will first execute the loop and the code inside of it one time, and then after the loop has been executed once, it will check the condition. This is good for if your condition is being determined inside the loop you are currently using. Now that you know how the loop works, the loop will continue to repeat this section of the code until this statement right here is true. So what this statement says is while choice is not equal to 5. So what the rest of the stuff inside this loop does is first it states what the user's options are, then it receives an input, or it's awaiting an input, and then it has several if statements set up to determine what the user inputs and what to do based on their input. So if they input 1, it will run the first class. If it is input 2, they will run the second class, and so on and so on. If the user inputs 5, this if statement is set to end the program by outputting this piece of text and also finishing, because that is the condition that the loop is looking for. Now, as I said earlier, these if statements determine what the user inputs and then do something different based on what their input is. Say, for example, the user chooses the first option. What that will do is that will initialize the next class that has been created, as well as running a method from that class. In this class is more information which asks the user for more inputs regarding what they would like to do after first outputting what their options are. Now that we have moved on to the second class, we can see there is a special method here with override on top of it. What this method is a method from the original class down here, which originally is set to do nothing other than initialize a variable. But in the new class, now that it has been overridden, it has been given a purpose. What it does is it changes the value of said variable and outputs a piece of text. This is called overriding, and it is useful for when multiple classes use one method but they need it to do slightly different jobs. So overriding takes that method and it slightly alters what its purpose is. Another interesting tool that I have set up at the top here is an instance variable. Now this is a variable that is not defined in a method but is defined in a class, meaning the actual variable itself can be used amongst many different classes while the value it contains can be changed. An example would be here it contains these 3 names, while in this class it contains 3 different names, although it is always the same variable. Something else that I have yet to mention so far is that all of these classes extend from the main class, which is NHL Teams. So as you can see, if I go to click in Central Division, public class Central Division extends NHL Teams. The same thing goes for the Colorado class, which extends the one above it, Central Division. So what this means is that these 2 classes can inherit things from the class it is extending. For example, Central Division can inherit things from the NHL Teams class, and the Colorado can inherit things from the Central Divisions class. This would make NHL Teams the superclass, as well as the main class. Now that I have showed you the code behind the program, I'm going to show you how the program itself works. So when testing programs, what you want to do is above your code screen here, there will be a little green play button. You click this and it'll run the program. So this is what the start of my program looks like. It asks the user for the input they would like to do. So let's choose Central. So you input the number of the program that you wanted to select, which is what I have said there. Then another menu pops up and it asks you what you would like to do from the Central Division menu. You can either, one, view the star players in the Central Division, which I will do. It then outputs who the star players are. That was the instance variable I had set up for that class. You can also view the total Stanley Cups won by teams in the Central Division by outputting 3, which is done there. You can go back by clicking 4, and it goes in and out as many times as you want. Or you can select a team from the Central Division, which takes you even deeper into the program. So this is essentially choosing which class you would like to run. You can either go back, which always works with all of them as many times as you want, or you can select a team. We will be choosing Colorado, which is the first option. So now this menu pops up telling you what this team's star players are, which is the instance variable for the Colorado class, and it asks you what you would like to do. So we can either enter the name of the player we would like, enter the cups to view the Stanley Cups we would like to see, or we can enter back. So we will only do one player just to show. So I will type in Nathan McKinnon as it is stated above, and it shows what you options are for the player. So you can view their jersey number, you can view their draft year, and etc., and the rest of their details. So from that point, we will back out, we will enter back until we go all the way back to the main prompt, and then we enter 5 to quit the program, and it ends the program. And that is the end of this tutorial. So thank you all for watching my tutorial on how to use the basics of Java and Eclipse.